Have you ever been so certain of something, so sure of a person's love, that you took it for granted? Clara was. She believed her husband, Liam, was a rock, an unshakable foundation she could always return to, no matter what. She thought his love was a limitless well she could draw from, even after she had betrayed it. She was wrong. This isn't just a story about a mistake. It's a story about the deafening silence that follows when forgiveness is no longer an option. Clara and Liam had what everyone called a perfect marriage. They were high school sweethearts who had built a life together from scratch. Their home was filled with laughter, inside jokes, and the comfortable rhythm of two people who knew each other inside and out. Liam was the quiet, steady one. He was a craftsman, a woodworker whose hands could turn a rough piece of timber into a work of art. He wasn't a man of grand pronouncements, but his love was in every shelf he built, every leaky faucet he fixed. Every morning he brought her coffee just the way she liked it. Clara, on the other hand, was the vibrant, social butterfly. She thrived on attention, on the buzz of a crowded room. As her career in marketing took off, she found herself spending more time at corporate events, surrounded by flashy, charming people. It was exciting, a world away from her quiet life with Liam, and that's where she met Julian. He was everything Liam wasn't: slick, complimentary, and always ready with a witty remark. The attention was intoxicating. It started with a harmless lunch, then late-night texts that she quickly deleted. Soon, harmless blurred into something else entirely. For months, Clara lived a double life. She'd come home from a secret dinner with Julian, her heart pounding with a mix of guilt and adrenaline, and find Liam waiting up for her, a warm meal on the stove and a gentle smile on his face. "Long day at work?" he'd ask, and she'd nod, unable to meet his trusting eyes. The guilt was a heavy cloak, but the thrill was a powerful drug. She told herself it was just a phase, a meaningless fling that had nothing to do with her real life, with her love for Liam. The day it all came crashing down was ordinary. A Saturday afternoon. Liam was in his workshop, the sound of sanding humming through the house. Clara had left her phone on the kitchen counter while she was in the garden. A notification lit up the screen, a message from Julian. "Can't stop thinking about last night. When can I see you again?" Liam saw it. He didn't have to snoop. It was right there, plain as day. He walked out to the garden, phone in hand, his face unreadable. He showed her the screen. The world stopped. The birds stopped singing, the breeze died down. All Clara could hear was the frantic hammering of her own heart. The excuses, the lies, they all died on her lips. The look in Liam's eyes wasn't anger, not yet. It was a deep, shattering hurt, a confusion so profound it seemed to crack his very soul. She started crying immediately, a torrent of apologies, explanations, and pleas. "It meant nothing, Liam. It was a mistake. Please, you have to forgive me. We can fix this." She expected him to yell, to scream, to demand answers. She was prepared for a fight. What she wasn't prepared for was the silence. Liam just looked at her, his expression slowly hardening from hurt into something cold and distant. He turned without a word and walked back into the house. That was the beginning of the lesson. For the next week, Liam didn't speak a single word to her. He didn't leave. He slept in the guest room, he ate the meals she cooked but never at the same time as her. He went to his workshop, and he came home. He moved through their shared space like a ghost, a constant, silent reminder of her betrayal. The silence was 1,000 times worse than any argument. It was a void that swallowed her apologies, her tears, her desperate attempts to connect. The home that was once filled with warmth and laughter became a cold, hollow space, echoing with the words left unsaid. She would talk to him, pleading, explaining, begging. He would just look through her, his eyes empty of the love that had once been her anchor. She was being erased from his life, right before her very eyes. She'd ask, "Liam, please, Just say something. Yell at me, hate me, but please don't be silent. He would simply pick up his plate and walk to the sink, or turn and leave the room. Every slam of a door, every footstep on the stairs was a judgment. She began to understand. He wasn't punishing her with his anger. He was showing her the consequence of her actions. He was showing her what a world without his love, his presence, truly felt like. It was empty. It was desolate. One evening, after nearly 2 weeks of this unbearable quiet, she found him in his workshop, sanding a piece of maple. He didn't look up when she entered. She just stood there, watching his strong, steady hands. The hands that had held her, built their life, fixed everything. But she knew, with a certainty that chilled her to the bone, that this was one thing he couldn't fix. Or rather, one thing he wouldn't. Finally, she stopped trying to fill the silence. She just said quietly, "I understand." And for the first time in 2 weeks, he stopped what he was doing and looked at her. There was no anger, no hatred. There was just a profound, quiet sadness. He gave a single, slow nod. And in that moment, she knew it was over. Not with a bang, but with a whisper of understanding. The next day, Liam packed a bag. He didn't take much. As he stood by the door, he finally spoke. His voice was raspy, unfamiliar. "The foundation is broken, Clara. You can't build a house on broken ground." And then he left. The silence he left behind was different. It wasn't the heavy, suffocating silence of his presence. It was the vast, empty silence of his absence. In the months that followed, Clara was forced to confront herself in that silence. Without Liam's love to validate her, who was she? She realized she had been so focused on chasing fleeting thrills that she had shattered something truly precious. The pain of Liam's silent lesson was excruciating, but it was also clarifying. He hadn't screamed or thrown things. He had simply removed himself, showing her the void she had created. He taught her that some actions don't just bend trust, they break it irrevocably. And sometimes the most powerful statement, the most profound lesson, is delivered in complete and total silence. Clara had to learn to live with that silence, and eventually to build a new life from the rubble. It was a hard, lonely road, but one she had to walk. Liam's lesson wasn't about revenge, it was about consequences. It was a quiet, devastating masterclass in the value of what you have, and the deafening emptiness that remains when it's gone for good. This story is a powerful reminder to cherish the trust and love we are given, and to understand that some things, once broken, can't be pieced back together. The quiet strength it takes to walk away can be more impactful than any angry words. Thank you for watching with us today. If this story resonated with you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more content that makes you think. We'll see you in the next one.